Anybody who saw him hit one into the empty seats in center last night, you have an idea just how strong he is. Another drive to center. McGee going back to the track at the wall, and it is gone.
Jeffrey Leonard was a star on the baseball field, a player who had millions of fans. But then everything changed. News broke that Leonard was involved in a cocaine trafficking operation, which greatly disappointed his fans. But before we move on, make sure to subscribe. Jeffrey Leonard was one of 7 current or former Major League Baseball players caught up in the 1985 cocaine trafficking trial of Curtis Strong, which became famously known as the Pittsburgh drug trials. These trials exposed a dark side of baseball that most fans never knew existed. Leonard, along with other players, took the stand to testify about what they knew. To avoid prosecution, Leonard and many others were given immunity in exchange for their testimony. The fallout was severe. On February 28, 1986, MLB Commissioner Peter Ueberroth decided to take action. He suspended 11 players, including Leonard, who he felt had crossed a line. Ueberroth didn't stop there. He personally interviewed the players involved during the offseason and decided to impose further penalties on those who seemed deeply involved in the cocaine network. Leonard was one of the players that Ueberroth pointed out for having a prolonged pattern of drug use and for being linked to the distribution of cocaine. As a result, Leonard and others received a 1-year suspension from Major League Baseball. However, there was a way for them to avoid this punishment. The suspensions could be waived if the players agreed to meet certain conditions. They had to donate a portion of their salary, 10% in Leonard's case, which was around $80,000 to drug treatment programs. They also had to perform community service related to drug awareness and submit to drug testing for the rest of their careers. Though the Pittsburgh drug trials didn't directly impact what happened on the field, they are still considered one of the biggest scandals in Major League Baseball history. The trials pulled back the curtain on a hidden side of the game, leaving a stain on its reputation and showing that even the biggest stars weren't immune to making bad choices. He was a baseball champ from his early years.
The flags are hanging limply in center field, and that fly ball, when it left, Coleman went back as if he had a play, and suddenly it looked...
Leonard was born and raised in Philadelphia, a city known for its passionate sports culture. From a young age, it was clear he was a natural athlete. Leonard attended Overbrook High School, a place with a rich history of producing top athletes like basketball legends Wilt Chamberlain and Walt Hazzard. Leonard quickly made a name for himself there, not just in one sport, but in 3: football, basketball, and baseball. He was a true standout in football, with his skills catching the attention of college scouts across the country. By the time he was ready to graduate, he had received an incredible 60 scholarship offers to play football. His talents in basketball were also noticed, earning him 5 scholarship offers, though not nearly as many as for football. Oddly enough, despite all this attention for his other sports, Leonard didn't receive a single offer to play baseball, even though he was a force on the field as a shortstop. His performance was impressive, including an incredible feat where he hit 2 home runs in a single inning, not just once, but twice. Despite his obvious talent in baseball, the scouts overlooked him, perhaps because he was shining so brightly in the other sports. His career, too, was a praiseworthy one.
Here's the swing. He kind of goes out and gets it. Now, he's not... Oh, he thinks maybe, but he goes pretty good now.
Leonard began his journey to the big leagues when he was signed as an amateur free agent by the Los Angeles Dodgers in June 1973. He started out in the minors, working hard to prove himself. By the middle of the 1981 season, he had already made a name for himself, not just for his skills, but for his unique personality. 2 of his teammates in the minors, Max Venable and Guy Soulars, gave him the nickname Hackman because of his habit of swinging at the first pitch, no matter what. Leonard wasn't a fan of the way Hackman looked, though, so he decided to change it up. He told them, "Spell it like the video game Pac-Man," and that's how Hackman was born. But Leonard wasn't just known for his nickname. He had his own signature style on the field, too. Whenever he hit a home run, he would do his famous one flap down routine, where he ran around the bases with one arm hanging down at his side. It became a trademark move that fans and opponents alike couldn't help but notice. Leonard was also making a mark with his actual gameplay. In 1976, while playing for the Bakersfield Dodgers, he tied for the California League lead with 13 assists from the outfield, showing off his strong arm and defensive skills. Then, in 1978, playing for the Albuquerque Dukes, he had an incredible season, leading the Pacific Coast League with 183 hits and a remarkable .365 batting average. These accomplishments helped pave the way for his eventual rise to the major leagues, where he continued to make an impact with his unique style and strong performance. On April 20th, 1981, Jeffrey Leonard and Dave Bergman were traded from the Houston Astros to the San Francisco Giants in exchange for Mike Ivey. This move would eventually lead to some of the best moments in Leonard's career. He quickly became a key player for the Giants and was recognized for his talent, earning a spot on the National League All-Star team in 1987 and then on the American League All-Star team in 1989. Leonard's greatest moment as a player likely came during the 1987 National League Championship Series when he was with the Giants. In this intense 7-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals, Leonard was on fire. He scored 5 runs, collected 10 hits, blasted 4 home runs, drove in 5 runs, and had a fantastic batting average of .417 and a slugging percentage of .917. His outstanding performance earned him the NLCS Most Valuable Player Award, even though the Giants ended up losing the series. As of 2024, Leonard remains the last player to win an MVP award for a league championship series or World Series while on the losing team. His 4 home runs tied a record for the most in a league championship series, a record he shares with Bob Robertson and Steve Garvey. However, Leonard's style wasn't just about numbers. It also had a flair that drew mixed reactions. During the NLCS, his Cadillac home run trot, where he took his time rounding the bases, didn't sit well with the Cardinals, who felt he was showing up their pitchers. His famous one-flap down routine, where he ran with one arm hanging down, also added to the tension. In response, Cardinals pitcher Bob Forsch hit Leonard with a fastball in the back during Game 3, which led the St. Louis press to start calling him both flaps down. Leonard's journey continued with a trade to the Milwaukee Brewers for Ernest Riles on June 8, 1988. By then, injuries had started to limit his playing time, and he was replaced by Mike Aldrete as the Giants' starting left fielder. Over his solid career, Leonard posted a lifetime batting average of .266 with 144 home runs, 614 runs scored, and 723 RBIs. His first standout season came in 1979 with the Astros when he hit .290 as a starting outfielder. His best all-around season was in 1984 with the Giants when he hit .302 with 21 home runs and 86 RBIs. His strongest power hitting year was with the Seattle Mariners in 1989, where he hit 24 home runs and drove in 93 runs, despite a lower batting average of .254. After retiring, Leonard stayed close to the game he loved. He coached in the minor leagues in college baseball, including a stint with the Antelope Valley College Marauders in 2003 and 2004, where he had a win-loss record of 25-44-1. He has also worked with young players looking to take their game to the next level, either in college or professionally. Since 2013, Leonard has served as a community ambassador for the San Francisco Giants, staying connected to the team and the fans. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like MLB Legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel, Baseball Icons. I'm sure you will love it. Oh, and while you are at it, drop a comment telling us who to cover next, and don't forget to subscribe.
Anybody who saw him hit one into the empty seats in center last night, you have an idea just how strong he is. Another